Waking up one day and being told by a foreign power who you are allowed to buy your energy from and who you are not. This is exactly the kind of pressure India is facing today. US President Donald Trump has claimed that under a new trade deal, India will move away from Russian oil and instead purchase crude from the United States and Venezuela. On the surface, this may look like a simple trade adjustment, but in reality, it is a clear example of how energy is being used as a geopolitical weapon. For India, Russian oil is not just another import source. It has become a critical pillar of its economy. After the Ukraine war began and Europe reduced its dependence on Russian energy, India stepped in and started buying Russian crude at heavily discounted prices, sometimes $10 to $20 per barrel cheaper than global benchmarks. Today, nearly 30% of India's oil imports come from Russia. This cheap oil has helped India control inflation, keep fuel prices relatively stable, and protect its economic growth. Abruptly abandoning Russian oil would therefore be economically risky and politically costly for New Delhi. Trump has promoted Venezuelan oil as an alternative, but the practical challenges are significant. Venezuela is geographically much farther from India than Russia or the Middle East, which sharply increases shipping time, freight costs, and insurance expenses. Moreover, Venezuelan crude is extremely heavy and high in sulfur, requiring complex and expensive refinery infrastructure. Only a limited number of Indian refineries are capable of processing such oil, and even then, it often needs to be blended with lighter, more expensive crude. On top of this, Venezuela's total oil production is currently too low to replace the volume India imports from Russia. This makes Trump's proposal politically appealing, but operationally messy. A sudden shift away from Russian oil would likely push global oil prices higher, squeeze Indian refinery margins, and eventually force higher fuel costs onto ordinary consumers. The more realistic scenario is not a complete break from Russian oil, but a gradual diversification of suppliers, something India has already been doing by increasing imports from the Middle East and the United States. From a Pakistani and broader regional perspective, this situation offers an important lesson. In today's world, oil is no longer just a source of energy. It is a powerful tool of foreign policy and economic pressure. Countries that become overly dependent on a single supplier or a single global power expose themselves to strategic vulnerability. The real question, therefore, is not only whether India can resist this pressure, but which country might face similar demands next in an increasingly polarized global energy order.